In the day's other news, the top Republican in Congress, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, for the first time publicly recognized Joe Biden as president-elect. It came 6 weeks after the election. McConnell spoke on the Senate floor a day after the Electoral College confirmed the outcome.
Many millions of us had hoped the presidential election would yield a different result. But our system of government has processes to determine who will be sworn in on January the 20th. The Electoral College has spoken. So today I want to congratulate President-elect Joe Biden.
Some other top Republicans have also recognized the Biden win since the Electoral College vote. The president-elect responded today at the airport in Newcastle, Delaware.
I had a good conversation with Mitch McConnell today. I called him to thank him for the congratulations. Told him, although we disagree on a lot of things, there's things we can work together on. We've always been straight with one another, and we agreed we'd get together sooner than later. And I'm looking forward to working with him.
At the White House, Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany declined to say if President Trump now considers Mr. Biden to be president-elect. Instead, she said the Electoral College outcome is, quote, one step in the constitutional process. A former Biden presidential rival, Pete Buttigieg, is Mr. Biden's choice for Secretary of Transportation. The NewsHour confirmed it today. The former mayor of South Bend, Indiana, was the first openly gay man to be a leading presidential contender. He dropped out before Super Tuesday. The NewsHour has also confirmed that former Michigan Governor Jennifer Granholm is the pick for Secretary of Energy. Top leaders in Congress met today on new economic relief. They reported progress and planned more talks this evening. A bipartisan plan worth nearly $750 billion is on the table. It includes jobless benefits and other aid. It leaves out help that Democrats wanted for state and local governments and liability shields for business that Republicans wanted.
Those two things are, if they're not on the table, what you're left with are the things that I just mentioned, which enjoy broad bipartisan support and which should make this really a pretty easy negotiation.
On state and local, everyone knows my position. It has broad bipartisan support, and I'm not going to get into negotiations in any way.
Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin joined those talks in another sign that a deal might be near. It would be attached to a so-called omnibus spending bill that must pass by Friday in order to avert a government shutdown. In Nigeria, the jihadist group Boko Haram has claimed responsibility for abducting hundreds of boys. More than 330 students are missing from a secondary school in Katsina State after a Friday night attack. Classroom seats have been empty there since the assault. Boko Haram opposes non-Islamic education, and it abducted more than 270 girls in 2014. The International Criminal Court has rejected a plea to investigate China's treatment of Uyghur Muslims. Exiled Uyghurs had claimed crimes against humanity, including internment camps and forced labor. The court said that it lacks jurisdiction because China, like the United States, does not recognize its authority. Back in this country, Wall Street rallied on signs that Congress might finally agree on an economic stimulus bill. The Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 337 points to close at 30,199. The Nasdaq rose 155 points, and the S&P 500 added 47. And the actress and Tony Award-winning choreographer Anne Reinking has died. She performed on Broadway for nearly 30 years, first gaining fame in Chicago in 1977. Nearly 20 years later, she reprised her role as Roxy Hart opposite co-star Bebe Neuwirth in the revival of the musical. Anne Reinking was 71 years old. Still to come on the NewsHour, Hawaiians worry that reopening travel will lead to an increase in COVID infections. The campaigns intensify ahead of Georgia's runoff elections, with control of the U.S. Senate up for grabs. President Trump's refusal to concede reminds many immigrants of the autocracies they fled, and much more.
This is the PBS NewsHour from WETA Studios in Washington and in the West from the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism at Arizona State University.